Welcome to Camp Emily and Tom.
What we're doing is we're guarding the police station for the police.
We just wanted to make this video today to show you guys how we get back into the UK on a budget during coronavirus restrictions. Hi, we're Emily and Tom. We met backpacking in Chile in 2020 when Tom took me on a road trip through Patagonia until we ended up locked down in Buenos Aires. After being separated across the world for 8 months, we reunited in the UK and are now back on the road again. Since the end of June 2021, we've been traveling around Europe through Spain, Italy, Greece, Croatia, and Slovenia, which we have just left to begin our journey back to the UK. Hey guys, I'm Emily.
I'm Tom.
I'm from Australia.
I'm from England.
And welcome to our channel.
It's August 18th, 2021. Since May 17th, the UK had a traffic light system in place, which meant anyone wanting to return to the UK had to follow certain restrictions based on which countries they had been to in the previous 10 days. When we filmed, people coming from green list countries, like Austria, did not have to quarantine at all. In this video, we are going to tell you the story of our return home to the UK, and then in our next vlog, we're going to give you our experience, costs, and tips for traveling Europe during COVID restrictions. Make sure not to miss it. Subscribe.
However, our story this time actually starts back in July. You might remember from our Italy vlog, number 3, that I was headed back to the UK from Italy, an amberless country. The next day, I travelled to Bologna, where I queued an hour and a half to get my free rapid antigen test from the Italian Red Cross. I completed a passenger locator form for the UK and then joined the long queues at the airport, where I had to prove I had all the right documents. Once I had arrived in the UK, nothing was checked once I had got to the airport. I was now expected to quarantine for 10 days, really 11 if you include the day I landed. I had to show proof of booking day 2 and day 8 PCR tests before I left Italy. They also arrived late, so I didn't take a test until day 4. On top of that, to get released early, I had to pay for a more expensive test to release, since the more expensive test guaranteed faster results, which I took on day 5, and that allowed me to be released at the end of day 6, or day 7 if you include that first day. I was called on the first few days to make sure I was at home, but I was never visited at home by anyone from UK Track and Trace. And back to Austria.
So Tom, why don't you tell everyone why we are currently sitting on this first class train to Vienna? Recording.
On our trip, we originally planned to travel to Spain, Italy, Greece, and France in that order. However, in order to avoid a 10-day quarantine when we got home and make my cousin's wedding, which is this weekend, we had to spend the last 10 days in green list countries. You'll have seen from our last video that we sort of disastrously made it to Croatia, which is on the green list and where we planned to spend those last 10 days. However, Croatia was all booked, so therefore we ended up in Slovenia, which is just north of Croatia. From there, we wanted to fly home. However, that proved not to be simple. We needed a flight that got us in on the Friday morning so that we could then take the train back to Cornwall for the Saturday. We'd hoped to return on the Thursday night. However, that would technically have meant that we would have spent a few hours in the last 10 days in an amberless country. And because we were stamped into Croatia, which hadn't happened in the other countries, we weren't expecting it. We thought we'd have to play it safe so that Emily didn't end up having to do a ridiculous 10-day quarantine, having spent 9.5 days in a greenless country. For some reason, flights were really expensive back from Slovenia. I think maybe they're running fewer flights at the moment. Since Austria borders Slovenia, it ended up much cheaper to travel to Vienna and take the early morning flight from Vienna, and that was much more convenient for the wedding. We would normally travel by bus between places if we're going by land. However, for some reason, it turned out much cheaper for us to take these first class tickets to Vienna from where we were staying in Bled. So here we are, next stop, Vienna.
Regardless of whatever country you're coming in from, you have to get a rapid and antigen test at least 48 hours before your flight, or a PCR test before your flight. Luckily in Vienna, we found a free testing center. Just a few minutes ago, we cruised through the line and we got tested. Unfortunately, we tested negative for COVID again.
That line there, again, C for COVID. Apparently that means we don't have COVID.
Yeah.
But we might have T.
We got a nifty little face mask. Step 1 is done.
Not detected.
Yeah, don't show any details.
Scan this QR code if you want to get home.
Hello.
Incoming from the floor of Vienna Airport, where we have pitched our non-existent tent for the night.
So far today, we got our antigen test We filled in a really long passage and locator form. We also booked the cheapest day 2 PCR test we could find, which was like £48 each. We've uploaded all the documentation we need to we think, to the Ryanair app.
We spent the day scootering around Vienna, eating some local delicacies.
We did a lot of scootering. We got this amazing dinner where we ate a dish called Grenadier Marsh. Emily does silent disco. And our flight is at
6:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. Check-in's at 4:30 a.m. Instead of spending money on a hostel.
And having to carry our bags through the night, having to navigate transport options at 3 in the morning.
We decided that we would just camp out in the airport overnight. I went for a walk around the 2 terminals, chose out the best looking spot.
And here it is.
And here is our camp for the night. Welcome to Camp Emily and Tom.
What we're doing is we're guarding the police station for the police. It's in Terminal 1, Vienna Airport. We have seats.
We have some darkness. We've luckily got sleeping mats and pillows. See you maybe at 4:30.
Night night.
Night.
What time is it?
It's 4:15. It's time to pack up and check into the airline and get onto the plane to go home to the UK.
Was that nice?
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I woke up a billion times, but as far as sleeping in a public space, not too shabby.
This is clearly too early for the camera. I can't focus on anything.
Welcome to the realities of Brexit.
I mean, I was never part of it.
Well,
I would have had to line up
this
here.
with that nice line there. With that line. Oh, we got ages.
Okay, we can stand there. One little complication that we haven't yet mentioned was that even after months of research, we still couldn't be sure whether I would have my tourist visa renewed on entry to the UK. So, this passport check was a little more scary than normal.
Oh, nice. Can't cross the border.
Thankfully, I had no problem getting through.
This was the end of our journey home, but we want to explain what it's like to travel Europe right now so you can decide if it's for you too. That's coming up in our next vlog. Hit subscribe so you don't miss out.
Saying that, yes,
We sort of needed, and also there was, it was to take a.
This is gonna be the longest tunnel ever.
Anything from the trolley, dear?
Frogs, we'll take the whole lot.
Who's that sleeping guy in the corner?
Expecto Patronum.
You'll find these on our website.
Along with my vaccine passport.
Yeah.
Photoshopped to your liking.